welcome back to FM Storey. In the last episode, we ended season 8 getting sacked by Atletico Nacional. So obviously it's time to move on and let's find out where we're going to begin season 9. And so we have a new job, having been sacked last season by Atletico Nacional. The one job that we applied for before the end of the season, we eventually heard back from them. No other real jobs of any kind of level that would have allowed us to challenge for trophies came up. So we're going to Peru with Universitario. They ended up finishing 3rd in the last season. In the overall league table. And obviously, I mean, there's actually more of a transfer budget than I was expecting. One positive, I think, is that there isn't a cup competition. So it is just the league. Hopefully we can get it boxed off in one season and move on again. What formation we play, obviously, we'll come across once we've had a bit of time to look at the squad. I mean, they want to finish in the top 3. They want to be competitive in the Copa Libertadores, and then at the end of next season, they want to win the league. So we've made it to the beginning of the season, opening day of the season. We've got a game at home against Melgar, who are one of the other top teams in the country. When we took over, there was a bit of a gap in some areas of the squad. So we have done a bit of business in the transfer window. So in terms of the outgoings, the only real outgoing of any note is Gary Loaza, who is a decent player, and obviously we would have liked to have kept. It looked like initially we were going to lose him for less than 500,000 because of his minimum free release clause in for clubs in Peru. But in the end, he's gone to Instituto in Argentina for £1 million. And then in terms of the incomings, we needed to strengthen the midfield. There was a couple of issues in the back 4, and we only had one goalkeeper in the squad to begin with as well. So first up, we brought in Jorge Diaz, who can play both full-backs, adds a bit of cover, and relatively experienced, Peruvian international, but still only 23 years old as well. Then we went and picked up Miguel Fuentes from Melgar, for 300,000, can play at the base of the midfield, because I think whatever formation we play is going to probably end up with a defensive midfielder in it. And obviously, I mean, I don't know how much to take from this, but 2.5-star current ability, up to 5-star potential ability, and only 21 as well, under 20 international for Peru. And then we've gone back to a player we'd signed twice previously. We signed him for Internacional. We signed him for Junior. We've brought in Alanzinho for 20,000 from Botafogo. Just gives us a bit of experience at the top end of the pitch, bit of quality. Obviously, the physicals are starting to decline a bit, especially that stamina. But hopefully he can come up big when we need him. And then we've brought in Kawi, a Brazilian goalkeeper. We signed him from Deportivo Pasto in Colombia. We only had one goalkeeper in the first team squad, and I think Kawi immediately comes in and becomes our number 1. Looking at the season preview, we're actually second favourites behind Alianza, ahead of Sporting Cristal, who won the league, I think, last season, and Melgar, who are predicted to come 4th. We only have the 2 players in the Media Dream 11. We've got Kawi and we've got Doritis in the defence. Lima and Sporting Cristal have got a lot of players in that Media Dream 11. And we have had one competitive game already this season, the second qualifying round of the Copa Libertadores. We've played the first leg at home against Oriento Petrolero. We ended up coming out 4-2 victors. We were 4-1 up at half time. and we've put in a pretty decent performance. So hopefully we can continue that on into the league, because we have some big games coming up early on in this opening league stage. We've got Melgar, followed by Sporting Crystal, and then in March we've got Alianza. So we're getting the three big boys out of the way early on. Hopefully we can start well and grow into the season with this new club. It's the day of the game against Melgar. However, we have done a bit more business in the transfer window since 2 days ago when we were doing the season preview. We've added a couple of attacking players. Firstly, William Navarro, who can play through the middle or in a number 10 role. And then we've added Victor Guzman, who can play through the middle or wide on the flanks as well. Just both of them just to add a bit more depth to the squad. So this is the side we're going into for the opening day of the season. We've got quite a few of the new signings in the lineup. In Kawe, Alanzinho, Guzman and Navarro come straight into the team. Fuentes would probably be in the team, but he's coming back from an injury that he suffered in pre-season. And it's going to be a tough test against the Melgar team, who are predicted to be right up at the top of the table as well. Not an awful lot happening. We've had a lot of possession, but haven't really, we haven't had a highlight yet. They've not had an awful lot of anything by the looks of things. And unfortunately, we've already suffered an injury. Victor Guzman having to go off on his debut. There's been plenty of shots looking at the match stats, but we've not seen a highlight until now. It's a throw for them into the box. And luckily, they couldn't get the shot on target, but that's maybe a wake-up call that we need. And there we are, half-time, 0-0. Pretty even game. And obviously, we've only seen the one highlight, so things can only really, hopefully, get better from here. Right, we've sent the same team out that finished the first half to start the second half. We've tweaked things slightly in terms of some of the player roles. Right, so we made some more changes. We've got a goal kick. Kawe goes into Fuentes, who's just come on. Quinones finds Ramirez. Out to Luna, who came on in the first half. Into Alanzinho. He goes back to Quinones. And we're going back to the keeper again. Ventura, who's a promising young central defender, goes back to the keeper. Quinones goes long, and now we're inviting them to attack, and they're in behind, squared. And we basically just punted the ball up the field to them, and then just didn't get close to any player with the ball. There was no pressure on any of that. So this is not looking like a particularly good start. Right, we made another change. It very much is a case of trying to find out what the squad's about. Ideally, we wouldn't have wanted such a tough start to the season, but we've given the ball away in their half, and now they're breaking again. That has to be offside, surely. This is not looking that promising now. This is not how we wanted to begin the season. And there we are, full time, 2-0 defeat. And we just weren't good enough. The only attacking highlights we saw from us were us giving the ball away in their half for them to counter-attack. There's plenty of work to be done here to try and figure out what we need to do next. So we're now in the middle of March for a big game, a trip to the league favourites, Alianza Lima, and it's even more big for the reason you can see. We are currently, after 5 games of the season, sat in 14th position. Following that defeat against Melgar on the opening day of the season, we've then lost 3 of the next 4 games. We got hammered by Sporting Cristal, away from home. We won a home game against Ayacucho. We got hammered away by Nacional, and then we lost the last one away at Universidad San Martin. So that means after the opening 5 games of the season, we're sat there on 3 points in 14th position. And we need to figure out something, and quickly, because we are struggling. And it's only going to be a matter of time before we come under threat of yet another sack. In direct contrast to the league form, our form in the Copa Libertadores has been pretty good. We knocked out Oriente Petrolero in the second qualifying round. We knocked out Nacional of Uruguay in the third qualifying round, winning the first leg 2-0, and then pulling a goal back late on to secure a 3-2 aggregate victory in the second leg. And then the group stage, we've been drawn with River Plate of Uruguay, Colo Colo of Chile, and Sao Paulo of Brazil. We started with a 4-1 victory at home against River Plate, and then followed that up with a 1-1 draw against Colo Colo. We have been switching from formation to formation as we've gone through the season so far. We've not settled on one. We've not really, even despite some of the performances, some of the results, put in what you would call a good performance yet. And so really, this game against Alianza is going to be a big, big test, and we need to at least avoid defeat in this game. So this is the side we've gone with for the trip to Lima. Doritas has come back in, thankfully, because he's probably one of, if not our best defenders. And we're trying sort of a narrow midfield with 2 up top to see whether we can keep ourselves secure at the back and then create enough to get some chances. So we're sort of going with one in front of the back 4 with 3 in front of him, and then 2 up top. And like we said, it's going to be a tough test against who were the league favourites at the start of the season. Right, Amaya with a throw for us. Coronado back to Fuentes. We've given it away, but Maya wins it back. Amaya to Ventura. Fuentes on the right here. Ventura across to Quinones, and then Doritis on this left-hand side. Finds Alanzino in the box, and he's put it under the keeper. And that is, given how we've started this season, that is exactly the start we needed in this game. So we worked it around well, dragged them around, and then Doritis just a little reverse ball into the box. Alanzino holds off a challenge and then sticks it through the legs of the keeper to put us 1-0 up. We've been forced into a change in the first half. Doritis has gone off injured after just coming back from injury, so Jorge Diaz has come on, and now they're on the attack. Ball pulled back to the edge of the area, and thankfully that hit the outside of the post and went behind for a goal kick. And Fuentes is thigh down in the middle of the pitch. It's going to be a red card, referee. Get him off that pitch. There we go. Right, a free kick. Alanzino to take it. Goes short to Maya. Finds Ramirez into the box. Went for the near post. It's come off the inside of the post. Alanzino now. And he just couldn't get it on target. Right, corner. Alanzino to take it. Lifts it into the box. And there's Ventura up highest. Gets a header. Puts us 2-0 up. We have been the better team, I think, from what we've seen of the highlights, and trying to take advantage of that one-man advantage. Just floated into the box. Ventura, from a standing start, basically gets above the defender and plants the header past the keeper. And there we are, half-time, 2-0 up. We've had the best of the chances. We've got a man advantage as well, and we just need to make sure we control this game in the second half. Right, no changes at half-time. Right, another corner, Alanzino to take towards the back post. It's up in the air and they've volleyed it clear. Diaz goes back to collect it and goes all the way back to Kawe in goal. Ventura into Ramirez. Maya makes a great run. Keeper makes a great save. Turns it onto the post and they've scrambled it behind for a corner. Alanzinho across to take it. In-swing it into the near post. It's flicked on and the keeper makes another good save. They've gone back to the keeper. It's cleared as far as Ventura. Amaya finds Maya. Ventura. Ramirez into Alanzinho. Lovely ball into Coronado. I think that one's getting disallowed for offside though. Oh, it's been given. So Ventura plays it into Ramirez, who then again finds Alanzinho. First time ball. Coronado takes a great touch and finishes it. But let's see where the lines are, because it did look offside. He's timed it just well. Right, a free kick for them. Lifts it into the box. We've got a head on it. And they've got the ball on the edge of the box though. Into the box. They've hit the post again. And Fuentes can bring it clear for us. And then gives it away. Alright, we've made a couple of changes to get some fresh legs on. Luna's come on in the midfield. And Guzman's come on up top. Luna now. Into Guzman. Immediate impact from the pair of them. I don't know how much Guzman got on that, but it seemed to float to that far post, in off the post. Ventura finds Amaya. Luna then just makes a little dart down his right-hand side, cross in. Guzman gets there, helps it across off the far post, and that's 4-0. Nice. Sotomayor cuts it out. Ventura finds Luna. Sotomayor into Guzman. We're knocking the ball around well, considering how bad the results have been to start the season and how low the confidence has seemed in the league games. We've suddenly turned it on against the league favourites here in the Super Classico. Sotomayor now finds Luna in the box. Back to Sotomayor. We're knocking the ball. Ventura with the ball to the back post. And somehow Alanzinho is the one that gets the head on it. And it goes over the top. And there we are. Full time, and the first genuinely decent performance we've put in all season. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. I mean, obviously we were helped by their sending off in that first half, but we were already in front at that point. And there we are, the end of another episode, and what a weird episode that's been, having taken over at Universitario, who were second favourites for the title. We lost 4 of our first 5 league games. Then went away from home to beat the team that were favourites for the league. We've made it into the group stage of the Copa Libertadores and got 4 points from our opening 2 games. It's just, I mean, there's no consistency, but for some reason, we seem to be better against the good teams than the worst teams. But having said that, hopefully we can go on a run in the league, because we have played Melgar, Sporting Cristal, and Alianza Lima, who are 3 of the top 4 teams in the country. So hopefully it gets a bit easier from here, but we're going to need to go on a run if we're going to have a chance to win the title this season. Join us next time to see if we can go on a run of form. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.